Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to UKIC Masters. We're dusting off the cobwebs here. Me and one wing here for the upper bracket final. TLR versus Dripmen. It's been a while since we've been in the hot seat, wing, and the weather has definitely changed for the better. I've got my sunglasses on. Don't see myself lasting too long with these on because I can't see a single bloody thing. How are you doing though? It's been beautiful.
Yeah, it's absolutely lovely outside. Bit too hot for my liking, but honestly, it's nothing compared to the heat we're about to see in the server right now. As we mentioned, this is an absolute UK grudge match. TLR and Dripmen. These two teams have been at the top for the best part of a year now, and it's always gone one way.
It always
But
has. It always has.
but honestly, both of these two teams, they've had good tournaments so far, and they've both been going on a little bit of a European excursion, playing a bit more international Counter Strike. And well, you could argue TLR have had the bigger success. I think it's Dripmen who've claimed the bigger name.
Oh man, what a stream that was, huh? That is going down in my whole books of one of probably the best experiences I've ever had. Obviously, if you weren't there, what the hell were you doing? Dripman beating out 9, and then well, what happened next was probably the funniest thing ever. No tweet whatsoever from 9, and then I think a week later they dropped their team or they make some roster changes. So it really goes to show that UKCS is just loves to thrive in the chaos, doesn't it?
Oh, it's always chaos with UKCS, but as mentioned, these two teams, these are probably two of the most stable rosters in the scene right now. And I say that despite the fact that Dripmen have made a couple of changes for this season. Obviously, like I said, Tornix and then later on Tadpole leaving this roster, but they've got some decent replacements coming in. Robin, a very experienced player, been around for quite some time, and he's really looking to rekindle that fire in his career. And then Arianto as well, a little bit more of an unknown to myself in particular, but he's put up some good performances, and I think there is more to come from him.
Absolutely. And well, let's have a little look at the bracket if well, you don't know what is going on. Of course, yesterday OKSUCC defeated SSS Ghoul in a 2-0 fashion. I believe we were both watching that game, and I mean, it started off a bit interesting on Dust 2, but Nuclear was always going to end one way, and of course the loser of this today will be falling into that lower bracket final to be playing OKSUCC, but more importantly, the winner today will be booking themselves a ticket to Sheffield already. So it's quite exciting, this new format.
Yeah, neither of these teams are going to want to lose this because OKSUCC, you said it was quite interesting on Dust 2. I think OKSUCC looks completely in control throughout that series. They are a very strong team that either of these teams can slip up against. The only way to guarantee yourself the spot at that LAN final is to come out victorious here today.
I do agree. I mean, some would argue that this really could be the we could be looking at the two teams that should be at Sheffield, but the fact that they're battling it out now, I mean, it's more pressure for them to deliver. And you mentioned obviously the two teams being on European excursions. Well, TLR did go to that Kosovo LAN XP Game Fest. That was obviously, a big congratulations to them to obviously being qualified. But a very ruthless format that was. It's instant elimination, and they got instantly knocked out. I mean, it's a ruthless way for them to go out, but I guess they went to LAN. Hooray!
Yeah, fly the UK and Ireland flag high, but unfortunately not for as long as they would have liked. But, another LAN opportunity, a chance for them to make amends and honestly continue this unparalleled streak of dominance that we've seen within the UK scene. Over a year and a half, this team has been undisputed number ones. There was that little bit of hiccup last summer where they were defeated by, oh yeah, the Dripmen. So it could be an exciting one, but since then TLR they've refocused, they've reestablished themselves at the top, and as great as the Dripmen have been recently, I do think TLR should still be coming away with this one, and a couple of players potentially throwing themselves into the hat for that overall tournament MVP. Yes, a massive thank you once again to our sponsors over at Logitech G. MVP of the series will win themselves a Super Strike mouse.
That sounds lovely. So if like Bev wins again, does that mean he gets 2 super strikes?
Yeah, an artist can add to his one from Epic Land potentially as well.
There you go. I mean, they don't need all those mice. All right, they can spread the love a little bit, but we gotta see where the action will be taking place first and foremost. We got the veto coming in, and it's a veto that you probably would have all expected. I mean, starting out on Overpass, Dripman pick, no surprise there. followed up by the specialty of TLR over on Ancient, and if it really, really needs to come down to it, we can finish the action on Inferno. Wing, are you surprised? Not really. Just
I'd say the biggest shock to me is not seeing Nuke in the pool, Inferno being elected as the
mm,
decider, Dripmen banning out Nuke. That is a map that these two teams have clashed heads on many a time. Maybe a little bit of fear out of the Dripmen, potentially? I don't really want to say that, because these are
ooh.
guys who I wouldn't expect to have that sort of nerve behind them, but maybe just trying to change things up, throw a bit of a curveball, maybe thinking that's how they're going to overcome TLR.
So what do you think, starting out in Overpass, they need to get right from the get-go? I mean, we obviously do know the past results, TLR constantly coming out on top. What do they need to get right, Dripman, to, start off their map pick and, well, potentially steal it away?
I think there's a couple of big key factors. On one of them being Fraser, obviously, has
Mm.
been in arguably the best form of his career over the past couple of months, putting up ludicrous numbers and claiming MVP prizes wherever he goes, whatever series he plays. He's been the one on top, but it has been a little bit of a gap behind him. So I think we need to see that floor raised up a little bit as well. We've seen the likes of Robin doing it a bit more recently, but I'm expecting a bit more out of the likes of Prime and Dobbo to really step up to the occasion. But we're about to find out exactly how it's all going to go down and whether the Dripmen will accomplish that. We are going to be kicking off Overpass very shortly, the pick of the Dripmen, which means they will be starting on the T side.
You say that, but there is going to be attack pools coming in. Vacancy having some interesting problems. He's DCing constantly, so maybe it's the warm weather getting to
Okay,
his
okay. I'm,
PC.
I'm jumping the gun
You're
a bit,
jumping the
aren't I?
gun.
So
I mean, you gotta be on the fly here because
I'm
there's
so
constant tech
excited
pools.
though.
I mean, we've not watched Counter Strike in a little bit. It feels kind of weird just being back in the C, just yapping about CS again. And arguably, we've been gifted two very good teams to get us back into the normality of what casting is like, huh? And of course, the weather being 30 plus degrees doesn't really, adds to it as well.
Yeah, it's all right. I've got myself a lovely bottle
Oh,
of ice to help cool me down. So
that is absolutely genius. I know you mentioned it in the pregame, but wait, can we see that one more time, like a little bit closer? Let's. Oh, no, that's
that's
brilliant. That's
so,
such a
so
smart
cool.
idea. That's my water. It could not be more warm, so I might have to do a bit of ice additions during the break. But yeah. Well, we can only hope that vacancy reconnects. Well, we might as well cut to the game. We can see all their pretty faces. I'm sure that's what everybody wants to see. We get to see all their lovely faces. There they are. You can see me type in the console as well and mistype volume 20 million times. Ah, it's nice to be back in, and I mean, TLR. I mean, this is their bread and butter, UKIC. I mean, do you think they ever get bored of like just like, oh, we have to go to Sheffield again. Oh, we have to go to Sheffield again. Oh, we've won again. Do you think it gets to them, or do you think it's even more
You,
difficult to live up to those expectations?
I mean, it's going to be difficult to live up to the expectations every single time, because when
Mm,
you're the top dog, when you're the established one, everyone is going to be gunning for your crown. So even though TLR, you could say, yeah, maybe do they get bored of winning? No, they do not. When you don't get bored of winning, and the fact that teams are able to adjust and try and counter them in different ways every single time, it's constantly a learning process for TLR. They have not stagnated. We've seen how they've been performing in recent months, even on the European stage, ever improving. So I don't think they're going to get bored of winning. This is just another test for them, and they'll keep pushing themselves until they get to where they want to be.
mm.
I
And of
think that will
course,
be right at the pinnacle of Counter Strike.
yeah, and of course, I mean, Epic Land Summer's right around the corner, and the infamous kill. I think it's right to say that UKIC is made up by the community. So I mean, we got to give a bit of a shout out whilst this tech pause is still going on to everybody who's obviously been streaming any of the games, whether you've been in Challengers, Rising, or Masters. More specifically to the Masters scene, I need to, well, Wayne, you let me know if I miss anybody out because I don't want to embarrass myself and look stupid like I normally do. But you got the likes of Felix, you got the likes of Orion, you got the likes of Zach, Panda, Maz, of course, all streaming games, all just being a part of the community. I think, well, obviously, without any of you guys, using your free time to stream some matches, it wouldn't be the same. We wouldn't be able to watch all the funny moments, all the sick moments. So I tip my hat to you.
Yeah, we are eternally grateful for the community that UKCS has conjured up together, the way we bring each other up. So yeah, it's a massive thank you to everyone who's had a part in this season, not just the streamers that we mentioned and the casters, but the players as well. We wouldn't be able to do it without the players. Be that in Rising, be that in Masters, and be that in Challenges. There's so much going on in UKIC, and we are eternally thankful for all of you.
Safe to say, though, I think Rising needs some more competition wings. When are we making a team?
Oh, we get bodied in Rising.
Even in Rising. You know, it's bad when I've only got one game done on my face-up placements. Is that fraudulent? I think that is quite fraudulent, isn't it? I probably shouldn't have added myself.
Yeah, maybe you should. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have. I mean, I've not played any of them. I've been grinding Prem for fun, so.
I've just started. Oh, you've been grinding Prem? Oh, that's pretty good. I've been playing a lot more matchmaking and stuff, but yeah, I do just need to play a lot more CS. I've been dipping my toes into Forza Horizon. I've been trying to figure out what this whole Bowie knife thing is going on. But forget about Bowie knife. You might be a terrorist in the other game, but we're gonna be focusing on Counter-Strike right now. The game will be going live. Cross fingers. We have no more tech pauses. But who knows? UK scene likes the UK scene. Wait, did it just pause again? No, it did not. We're live!
Yeah, a bit later than planned, but we are going once and for all. TLR going very, very aggressive in towards mid and connector here, and Dripmen are going to try and meet them head on. This double dually setup is going to be a nightmare to get past. Because he does make noise on the dismount, but he's able to get one before being traded out by Prime. Oh. Arianto with a double kill on top of that as well. And the TLR defense has crumbled. Bev needs to try and play his life, let them pass, allow Giraffe to take first contact and get them in the back. But Dripmen are actually backing off. Bev's now been spotted out. Forced into a retreat here. Dripmen just need to regroup and not overextend. Don't give away anything silly.
Ooh, and Arianto finds that kill onto Bev, so last man standing is Bev, and they will be walking into him. That crosser only going to be able to connect onto one of them, Fraser. Continuing that domination that we know, only one in the round. It was actually Arianto with the triple, and you have to say TLR had the read. They had been doing their homeworks, but more than crucially, they could not connect any of their shots. So, Dripman, we did say we need to see them start off quite nicely here on the C side on their map pick. And that's a pretty good way to start.
Yeah, definitely better to get the rounds in early, come into this series hot, boost the morale, boost the momentum. TLR are looking like they want to snuff it out very quick, forcing back into this one. UMP on Bev, but upgraded pistols for the remainder. The Dripmen know what they're up against. They don't want to overextend too quickly. Don't want to give away anything silly. Just go through the motions. Let TLR psych themselves out. Arianto going aggressive over towards the fountain, trying to get a bit of information. Dripmen have full control of short. Not aware of what potentially meets them on the other side of that wall. 4 of the 5 CTs there. It's only Extinct, playing a bit more passive, searching for a bit more information over towards the A site, but Dripman, they're not really hunting for any information anymore. They are looking like they want to just try and group up and hit the site. This could be a misplay, but TLR are actually rotating off here. All but so are Dripman. They're making their way up connector.
No, they're not. It's the double fake.
Yeah, the sound cue. Oh, I think Bev spotted them on the jump there. That's going to force an immediate rotation out of TLR. Dripmen need to go now or back off. But they're taking just a little bit too long. The barrage of utility coming over the top. Giraffe at vacancy replying with some of their own to finish off Dobbo. Robin. The ramp allows the exit through short, but Bev lurking in the pit, able to get one. Artist and Giraffe snapping turtles, finishing the job. And the boys from the Emerald Isle, the last alive, as TLR with an instant response.
It's the one win classic that we like to say. Yeah, you can win the pistol all you want, but if you don't get that conversion, what's it worth? And I mean, that is, I'm not going to say embarrassing, but definitely a lot of overthinking. They're running back and up the stairs. I mean, they're confusing us. So it's safe to say that they were confused as well what the actual strat was. And before you know it, that jump spot by Bev was a lifesaver. 3 spotted towards short. It's only going to end one way. And they land their shots crucially. TLR on the second round. The Dripmen.
Yeah.
Don't want to back out of the fight. They're forcing as well.
Yeah, scout in the hands of Robin. Something you'd usually expect to see in the hands of the captain Fraser, but trusting his teammate with it this time around. He is going hunting aggressively. He does spot ahead, but Extinct is able to get away. Information gained for TLR. Bit of a stalemate here. The wall coming up long now. Oh, it's only a tag on the scout. Extinct is able to get the kill and get away. Arianto's still lurking over towards long. TLR are very much ready for this push now.
Oh,
Assist. Ooh, able to get one, but Dobbo with the 5-7, the Tech 9 drive-by, apologies. Let's get spotted out again. Arianto going down. That's the long presence he dealt with. Now it's only Prime. Bomb on his back. Eagle in hand, but only 25 points of health.
It's already pretty good damage though from Dripmen. I mean, 2 kills. You got Extinct who's nearly dead himself, and there you go. Doesn't even need to land the body shot. That's a headshot. Sadly though, Giraffe lying in wait. 2 rounds in a row now for TLR, but yeah, again, solid financial damage from the Dripmen, keeping it close. Clearly, after all the CS I've not watched in a long time, the Tech 9 still remains the same, so that's good to see. The consistency is still there.
Yeah, consistent, very much consistent. Dripmen. They're going to eco this one, so this is likely TLR going to be finding their third. What do you think? What do you thought of this Dripmen T side so far? Because honestly, the second round and that third round, it seemed quite flat, quite unimaginative, very stubborn.
Yeah, it is a little bit stale, but then again, it is early days. I mean, I think there's still a bit of time left for the Dripmen to grow into this game. I mean, obviously the pistol was quite solid, but then again, you have to say that the setup, it really should have ended with them losing the round, but I'm sure the Seaside will grow into some beautiful things. Obviously, we have talked magnificently about Fraser, and I mean, like you mentioned, best form in his career that he's in at the moment. But the problem is, we did also see when we were watching the Dripmen over in Challengers, that he really was one of the only people really stepping up when it matters, and no one really around him picking up the slack. So it'll be interesting to see who, who's a little bit slower off the marks today. At the moment, everybody kind of shoulder to shoulder at the moment, but when the nitty-gritty starts, that's when we need to see some people step up.
Yeah, step up will be required, but this is going to be Dripmen's most equal round thus far. 4 AKs on the board, Robin relegated to the Galil, but plenty of utility to back it up. Heal up. Still just waiting. Surprised that spam's not connecting there from Giraffe. Oh, that one does. Oh, that's Extinct burning Extinct inside of the... Yeah, Extinct burning down. So apologies, the HUD deceiving me. Artist does re-peek in for the refrag, but misses the second opportunity onto Dobbo.
Kobe.
Taking out that HE. That's gonna... Oh, that's not gonna finish off Artist. The Molotov is, though, from Fraser. No chances being taken by the Dripmen. Arianto picking off Giraffe as well. They can see scrambling to try and get into position, but as he peeks, the flash pops and Arianto nets another hot start here from the young Swede. 6 and 3, but all those kills have had big impact, and now Bev, he'd need to find some impact in this round if he does consider going for it, but I think the wiser move is just save.
It seems everybody's scraping off the rust in these early rounds. I mean, I think this is the first match back for TLR from Kosovo. I don't think we want to start giving them excuses about plane flights and whatnot. It's not that long of a flight, but at the same time, it's a very messy round. Extinct braving the flames, thinking he's got like a fire suit on or something. He doesn't. I mean, it looked like it was the spam from short that was doing the damage onto the tees, but yeah, I mean, Artist staying alive for longer than he probably should have, but yeah, it's just a bit of a mess. Giraffe thinking he's got a bit of a gap there towards long, trying to take up a bit of occupancy to hold on to that site, but yeah, just walks into 2 players, so it is just a bit messy now, but I'm sure things will start to settle down a little bit, right? It's UKCS. We'll see some clean Counter Strike soon, right?
Yeah, I do understand the re-aggression out of Giraffe, though. In a man disadvantage, you kind of need to take a much more safe position, and sometimes a gamble needs to be taken. Unfortunately, that time he gambled wrong, but it's not the end of the world. TLR still able to purchase back into this one, still currently in the lead at this early stage. It's forced off by the aggressive utility out of mid. The Molotov will hold back his retreat. Dripmen,
Oh, that's
oh,
beautiful.
that's going to be heard, and Fraser's going to pounce. AWP in his hand, and you cannot allow him to get online.
Absolutely not. Already 4 and 3. Ulp already in play, and it's finding its impact, so Fraser's not one to be meddled with. Dobbo on the other side of the map catches Bev in a clean fight as well, so TLR, despite the strongish start, I should say, this gun round not going their way. 5 versus 3. How passively do they want to set up? Do they want to re-aggress, try and take the fight back to the Dripmen, or just sit back and pray they could get a couple lineups? A4 spray from Bank.
Yeah, that was the opportunity for Giraffe, but not able to convert the kill, forced to fall away. Dripmen taking full control of long. Artist posted onto the bathrooms. Actually, ooh, bit of a misread here from TLR. Thinking about doubling back over to support B.
It's a gamble.
Yes, the lack of re-aggression early from the Dripmen made them second guess the site of A, but unfortunately, Dripmen were just biding their time. And now TLR are completely out of position, and they have no hope in this round. They need to carry these weapons over, because the economy, for that loss in the previous round, is not in the strongest of place. So these 3 rifles will be invaluable in the next.
And this round 1, sorry, primarily won by the util. That util to trap Extinct into that fight. I mean, obviously the burn of damage doesn't really help. That gives away his position, and that pretty much forces him to take the swing. It all kind of culminates into this round win for Dripmen, so it's just the simple things, but if they do it right, they can get a nice little substantial lead going on this T side, and it has been a while since we've watched a TLR Overpass. They do like to sneak this into their vetoes at times as a map that they can play, albeit it doesn't always end well, at least against some competition outside of the UK, against more of the European teams, but at least for now, they seem kind of weak, so if Dripmen are able to exploit that, by all means, we might be looking at a 3-mapper. I'm sure that's what most people want to see, a 3-mapper.
Yeah, we absolutely love a 3-map series here, and that Inferno Decider potentially on the cards. A bit more of an unknown. You can't ever say it's a true unknown between these two teams. They've played each other so many times. You've got to feel the Dripmen going to be a bit more confident on this map. It is their pick. Think back to the grand final of the previous Epic LAN. Dripmen's T side on Overpass was extremely strong, and a lot of that was due to Dobbo in particular over towards B, but it's actually going to be primed to get the opening in this one. Spam through the wall onto Giraffe. Helped out a little bit by Vacancy. Maybe not something that Mason would want to take any credit for.
But that does mean Dripmen get another opener in this round. 2 SMGs on the side of TLR, so it's not the superiority and firepower that they would have wanted. And this flash base full of Bev, I mean, he's not going to be able to see anything. I can't see anything. And Mason, Mr. Vacancy, shut down as well. A simple B pop after that opener. And there's no rotations from the upper site, so it's just like that. Dripmen taking the lead back since the pistol round.
I was just about to say that smoke by TLR just before the execute almost perfectly timed, but Dripmen just didn't care about it. They just popped through it. They trusted in the utility of their own, and yeah, netted them to essentially 3 kills. So TLR, it's difficult when you're at a man disadvantage. You kind of do have to commit to the whole, but especially with the position that Bev was in. But Dripmen making it look quite easy at the moment. The game has gone very back and forth in these early stages. But Dripmen have once again re-established themselves a lead.
And it's funny how the caster's curse has already kind of come into play here. We talked about Arianto being a bit more unheard of, you know, a little bit off the marks in the previous games. He's the one leading the way for the Dripmen, and that's very important to see from their team. People that we might not normally see towards the top of the leaderboard leading the way. That's going to inspire a bit of confidence, and they can start to run away with this. I mean, Art is still holding on to that AWP. Need to keep in mind of that, but I'm loving the pace now. We said it was a bit stale. What's to say about this? The little B-rush
Oh
coming in.
yeah, big change of place. They are walking straight into the stack site. Artist is anchored at the back with the AWP, but the utility is going to flush Bev out immediately. Artist does get one on the retreat. Is he going to peek back for more? Yes, he is. Never counts out Tom Clark with an AWP in hand. Prime jumping in towards Mud, able to get one. And now it is the Emerald Isle boys. Artist and Extinct, and all missed shot out of Fraser. Extinct able the chance to capitalise, and that dink as well.
Oh!
Much low HP on the two remaining Dripmen. Artist, CZ in hand, the rapid fire. That's all it could possibly need, but it's only a tag onto Prime. Not enough to convert the kill. Spots out Arianto as well. Knows where they both are, but does he know they were different players? Does he think it's one man? It doesn't matter. On the mantle, Arianto will strike. And Dripmen made it look sketchy there, walking into the stack site, but they do convert the round in the end.
I felt like I had to hold my breath there that entire round. Very, very quick pace from the Dripmen. That is not still whatsoever, and that's confidence. Full confidence on display from the Dripmen to just barge their way on in. They might have cancelled midway through when they realized the stack was in, but no, they continued onwards. They landed their shots, testing Artist a bit too much. Dobbo, that spot, a little bit of a question to ask about that, but you got to say, I mean, despite their records, it's
And are you seeing what I'm seeing? Is this a double AWP T side?
Where?
Dobbo and Fraser, both wielding the big green.
Oh no.
Dobbo, yeah, okay.
He's been punished. He got told off.
Yeah, relegated. I would have liked to have seen it. Go on, maybe go pick it back up again, Dobbo.
We saw a couple double ups on the T side of Dust 2. I mean, then again, it's Dust 2, so you can somewhat understand it, but on Overpass, that would have been...
Yeah, Overpass is a bit more question. I don't want to say I don't want to say bad, but it's a bit more difficult to get working. There are some tight angles on this map, so
a very honest
better
opinion.
just to stick with the rifle.
A very honest opinion from you, Wing. There. That was your first thought when it came to Overpass. I'm sure you're not alone in that.
Yeah, it's not. I like the map. I just absolutely suck at this map, so it's pretty much my permaban in my game. So
that is so valid. So valid. Don't worry, man. Post major.
I miss Train.
Yeah, Train got disrespected in my personal opinion, but what can you do? Valve have a way of doing their things over there. I shan't ask.
All this time we've been yapping, the timer has ticked down to about 20 seconds. Dripmen only now beginning their execute onto this A site. It is still a 5 versus 5. Timer now at 15 seconds. Extinct lurking around the edge of the smoke. That's the bomb being dropped early. Prime is there with a response, but Artist and Giraffe re-establishing dominance. The dink as well onto Robin. We'll be able to get that plant down, and Fraser providing the cover. It's going to be a double retake here from this underpass. CTs trying to pincer their way in. One through bank, one through bin. Robin in a very aggressive position. 10 HP. Needs to spot out Bev quickly, but Bev is able to strike. And now it has to be the captain to lead by example. One is planted for him. Swings out, but a missed shot onto Bev. One bullet in the chamber. 2 targets to find. He finds nothing. And Bev gets the final kill of the round. And TLR back in the winner's circle here.
A little bit close.
A while for them.
Yeah, a little bit close. Vacancy trying to brave it alone. I mean, you had the 3v2, puts it into a 2v2. I think Fraser, any other day of the week, he probably lands both those shots. So TLR feeling very desperate in the way they're playing at the moment. And to be fair, I mean, 5 rounds on T-side Overpass, I mean, it's quite solid. You're going to be happy with that if you're the Dripmen. I mean, with the way they've been playing, I mean, they can't run away with this for the rest of this half. So
yeah, but not as clinical from Fraser as we usually expect him to be. Obviously, he has been quite open about the fact he sustained an injury not too long ago. So
true.
Is that still hindering him a little bit? I've seen performances from him since that have begged to differ that, but you know, just trying to give him a little bit of an excuse. Oh, that little boost coming out there from TLR. Artist picks up Prime, extending that advantage. Fraser is there with the response to spam through the smoke onto Bev. I think it was actually broken, so giving him a bit of vision. But still TLR a man up. Still plenty of time to play with, but that's all the map control towards A. Just gone. Dobbo trying to work something out over towards B here, tucked in towards the sandbags. His angle is being held. The flash does not hit its mark. He is able to escape, though. continuing to press the issue a little bit before his retreat. Does still have Fraser over towards the T-spawn. That's the Heaven Smoke going out now. Way over towards barrels. That gives Fraser a lot of information about where to clear. Don't know if he spotted the head over towards the water. Extinct crawling his way around it, peeking up behind the Molotov. At what point do Dripmen begin to expect this position? Fraser was looking at it, but Dobbo spots him on the jump up. That equalizes the numbers, but the timer, they do still need to get this bomb down. 20 seconds, spam. Oh, not quite enough for the kill. Dobbo escapes with his life and the plant, but Fraser's being loud about this, and Artist is ready. The AWP, his paintbrush, and he splatters Fraser's all over the wall. And now it has to be Dobbo, the machine from that Epic Land final here on Overpass. But he is snuffed out very quick in this one, so TLR will be tying us up once again.
Yeah, another close round. This game living up to everybody's expectations, I have to say. I mean, it's what you expect from arguably the two best teams in the UK at the moment. Going head to head at the moment here in the first half. Finally taking a bit of a breather here. First time out being called, I believe, by the Dripmen, so need to get the whereabouts there.
Yeah, I mean, this is still a very good T side from the Dripmen. 5 rounds on a CT side of map like Overpass. They can be happy with this, but there will also be that lingering thought in the back of their mind that, I think back to that Epic Land final, the Dripmen CT side wasn't as strong as it realistically should have been. So maybe a couple more would be required for them to feel truly comfortable. They do still have a buy left in them. They can purchase to the end of the half, or with the exception of Fraser and maybe Arianto. I don't really want to give them that opportunity.
I was going to say, I don't think they should change how they're playing, though, the Dripmen. I mean, it's working out. I mean, it's just this last couple of little bit of inklings that they need to get corrected. Obviously, we did say it was stale at the start. Safe to say that's not the case whatsoever. They do look a lot more fluid and confident. And yeah, to be fair, they might be eating shrapnel now, but even on the lowest HP, they can still be a threat.
Yeah, and that double airstrike taking Bev down to just 30 points of health. Great awareness from the Dripmen. Great adjustment to their play. Bev once again holding this hyper-aggressive angle at the monster pipe. Waiting on this fade. Does have support from Vacancy. This is going to turn into an all-out brawl on the fade. Giraffe as well supporting the CTs, but Fraser's the one to draw first blood. Second blood goes the way of Robin, and now it has to be Bev, dispatched by Dobbo. And now TLR out of position, potentially out of opportunities. Artist fires off a shot. Extinct being allowed on the rotate down. The TLR, should they choose to retreat, look who's lurking around. Arianto. TLR, they can have a fight on their hands to keep hold of these weapons, but Arianto made that a bit easy for Artist there.
Yeah, I mean, it is not unknown that TLR do like to play a little bit more aggressive towards Monster. Bev does like sitting around the smokes there. And they didn't even do anything wrong there. I mean, you have Vacancy as well in support, so, I mean, the setup was fine, but just not expecting the open Fraser right towards the back. I mean, it's a bit of an off angle, so no adjusting to him. And obviously he has his teammates lying in wait, ready to pounce off that opener. So the setups have not been working out probably the way they would have planned here, TLR. Still, they have mustered up 5 rounds, but they know they will not be winning out this half whatsoever. They need to tie it up. Dripmen in pole position.
Yeah, well, we said Dripmen's Overpass CT side was a bit lackluster at Epic Land. They know that was a poor performance from them, and they were up against a white-hot TLR. Dripmen, they are in the best form of their careers right now, and it could go either way, so TLR realistically, they do need to tie this up to give themselves a proper chance. You can never truly count them out. Even when they're down, they're not out until the scoreboard hits 13. Extinct. Does get the opener in this one. And hunting for more as well. Prime is
Ooh,
holding, but the timing! Prime turns away, and that's when Extinct chooses to peek. Artist dispatches of Dobbo as well. Robin trying to hold the line, does get one back, but I think it might just be a little too late. Molotov, that's going to flush Robin out of position. Fraser going for a risky walkout here. TLR are still heavily grouped in mid, but Fraser has so much to clear. But Bev only able to get the dink. 7 points of health is all Fraser needs. Not committed to the bomb plant as of yet. Robin trying to keep these two players at bay from the connector. Vacancy rotate his way into heaven. He's actually going to be the one to finish off Fraser. The low HP, not enough for that nade. Robin dodging the flashbang, retreating into the site, but he needs to stand and fight at some point. The timer will go against him eventually. But TLR, they do tie us up. Right, and honestly, that was a brilliant play out of Extinct.
Indeed it was, and especially their artist at the end. Lovely little movement to beat the bait there for his teammate to finish off the final kill. 15-4. I mean, with the way I've been speaking, it makes it seem like TLR is losing like 3-9 or something, but you got artists on 15 kills at the moment, so if there's anybody who's on fire on the server in this current moment, it's most definitely him. So if he's able to, you know, copy and paste that into this T side, Dripmen, they might be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's trouble just yet for the Dripmen, but they want this pistol round to go their way because you can't allow TLR to get rolling. You want to keep up the AWP out of Artist's hands for as long as possible. When TLR, they're just going balls to the wall. Dripmen copying the TLR pistol strat, but TLR completely subverting it. Plant going down uncontested. Artist, he's going to get all this information. He's going to see 3 backs turned. He's able to get the first. Can't get the second, but Arianto still fighting. Able to get 2. That equals it up, but Dobbo goes down with nothing, and Fraser just can't compose himself. Bev and Vacancy alive at the end as TLR retake the lead.
Again, another quick round. The pace of this game definitely stepping up, and it's deservedly so. And surprising, I mean, TLR, you would say that would have been cleaner, but again, even in the mix of all that action, Dripmen's still able to get a couple kills there, putting it into a 2v2. Just a bit of a shame that they're both coming out of heaven there. And you got both your opponents to connect you at the same time, so it is a bit unfortunate, but a solid retake attempt there from the Dripmen. But can they replicate what TLR did to them in the first half? Well, with what they've got, you'd have to say the chances of that are very low.
Yeah, committing to the eco, it's not a play you see as often anymore, because I mean it stunts your economy getting truly going early on. I mean, it sounds a bit counterintuitive, but buying into the next, you can get an AWP out at round 4, but if you eco the second round, then your economy it's not in a great spot. So a bit of a risky play. So Dripmen putting a lot of faith in their capabilities this round once they get the M4s.
Indeed so, and you still got these SMGs here from TLR, so we'll see what Artist does with this companion. They're Extinct. Do they keep up this pace? Exploit the movement on those SMGs for now. The group is splitting up here, taking to all corners of the map. Bev knows his way around Monster, but it is Vacancy who has lost his life to begin this round.
Yeah, that pick over towards Party from Arianto, who's able to escape as well. Half HP, but more than enough to keep fighting. TLR, they're actually going to cancel the little bit of a spread play, just go straight up into a regroup. Bev going for a bit of information over towards short, but Dripmen presenting with him nothing as of yet until Dobbo just peeks through, catches Bev on the jiggle, and that his head hits the floor. So a 2-man advantage now for the Dripmen. Low HP on a couple of players, but if they play the trades right, this round should be theirs. But Artist and Extinct, still alive, still fighting. Can't count these two out at any point. Paul Fraser spotted out on the jump, but Arianto lying in wait. Perfect bait from the captain to set up his teammate. And now Artist and Giraffe, 30 seconds on the clock. Yeah, completely out of position. Can't even consider going for it.
Welcome to Overpass. just so important, those opening picks. And I mean, it really just shuts off where TLR can go. No map control whatsoever. And that's why you got Xinct just running around bathrooms as loud as he can be. Just trying to force something to turn the tables in this round. But it is the Arianto show going on at the moment for the Dripmen. Dobbo standing strong over towards the B site. And these round, I mean, the round counter, I should say, has always been between one. No side really being able to sprint away with the lead. Can't really make heads or tails, so we will take this map.
Yeah, it's been truly back and forth. I think it's just going to come down to who breaks first, and neither of them look like buckling as of yet. DLR are able to purchase back into this one. AKs as well as the 2 saved Galils. Still no AWP out for the Dripmen, but not something that they've really needed if the previous round is anything to go by. Deep double HE, but only a tickle onto vacancy. Takes him down to 60 HP. TLR once again going for a bit more of a spread out play. 2 players trying to take away short control. Robin spots 1 out on the jump, but all this time the long presence. It's been very fast here from TLR up long. Now giving away their position with the utility. Dripmen not budging as of yet, still committing to this aggressive bathroom setup. Artists really trying to force their hand. That has drawn a couple of eyes away, but Dripmen still standing firm. I spotted nothing on the jump spot. Is that going to potentially indicate a rotate up? A bit of a stack over towards the A site. It would be a misplay as the bomb makes its way over towards Monster. Robin spams through the smoke, only a tickle. Does eventually get the kill onto Artist. Vacancy is there with the trade, but this is all a bit of a ruse. Arianto will take down Vacancy. Prime drawn slightly out of position. That's the B anchor, so the bomb can go down here for TLR. Still with a man disadvantage. Molotov will buy them some time to get into some more anchor positions, however. Razor the Soul Lurk. The rest of it's through ABC Xinct. Ooh, I don't know what he was thinking there, but it didn't do very well for him. Bev able to get 2. Can he stand firm? Has the help from Giraffe. And now it has to be the captain. Low HP, but Bev doesn't need any HP to be able to one-tap Fraser straight out of the server. And TLR, instant response again.
My word. I mean, they knew they couldn't just sit on the bomb sites, twiddling their thumbs, waiting for Dripmen to activate their retake, so they took the fight to them. And it didn't start off too well, but Bev activating. He's a bit of a slow burner, Bev. I mean, sometimes he can just have a pop-off game from the get-go, but he likes to build into the game to get his confidence. That's a round to solidify TLR right there. And right then, just now, coming positive 10 and 9. On a really crucial round here for the Dripmen. Another tactical being used. Do or die now. We mentioned who will be the first one to buckle under the pressure, who will break first. Might be the boys in blue.
Yeah, they've still got another buy in them though. A bit of a messy buy. The FAMAS on Dobbo, MP9 on Prime, Robin with basically no utility to speak of. This is a Hail Mary from the Dripmen, you have to say. Staring down the barrel of double digits. Potential 3-round disadvantage with TLR potentially having 3 left to find. Should things go their way in this one. Dripmen sticking to their guns, going with the similar setup we saw from them in the previous, except this time maybe going a little bit aggressive in towards short. TLR have not taken control of that position yet. Maybe expecting a bit of a slower play. Are we going to see a triple boost here?
Hello!
Ready for so quick out of our assist. Robin didn't even get a chance to land on his teammate's head. And the Dripmen's Hail Mary might just result in a turnover.
It's got to be annoying playing against Artist, you know, with his big brain. I mean, I don't think Robin was expecting to be, well, someone to be posted on the other side of that wall. Just goes to show that something seemed off for Artist there. Where was the aggression from Monster? Maybe something like that, but despite that opener, they're going to just continue to activate. It's a 1-to-1 trade. Vacancy leading the way here, but it will be extinct from short. And I mean, that's beautiful. I mean, that opener from Artis really just opened up the round. And they stuck to their guns, like you said. And, well, they traded their way in. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, Dripmen, they had to go for something aggressive. They had to go to try and take an advantage with the lesser weapons. But, I mean, Artis, just the Giga Brain, absolutely ready for it. And then no real re-aggression off the back of it for the Dripmen. They're always going to be fighting an uphill battle to hold on to that B site. And TLR walk in with minimal casualties, get the bomb down, and force Dripmen into a save. If they will even be allowed to, Arianto needs to watch his back.
Oh. He's safe. He's snug. So is Fraser over towards bank. Counting his last couple dollars here because the money is, well, it's not really there for the Dripmen.
I was going to say, what money? $2 a piece?
Yeah,
not really enough to even consider buying into this one. Might get a couple of upgraded pistols, but that is it. I think goal number 1, take guns away, keep rifles for next. But they've got a bit of time to think about it now, as we have a small tech pause. Very small tech pause.
That was literally a millisecond tech pause. What could have been fixed that quickly, huh?
Literally just a mouse hot swap, probably. One running out of battery, whack the other one in.
Thankfully, that's never happened to me in a game running out of a mouse running out of battery.
Yeah, we don't do long enough sessions for that.
That is so real. So
We're not as committed. We're filthy casuals.
1 hour is already too much Counter-Strike for me. Oh. Careful, Fraser. Bev is just running away. And he's actually able to get out of there as well. That's incredible.
Yeah, baits for Extinct to get the kill as well, but Robin is there with the reply. That is an AK that can potentially be recovered. Arianto's getting a lot of information as well here off the crawl over towards A. Dripmen scrambling to try and get in position. Arianto, oh, he had the right idea. Artis was ready for it though. The tag on the AWP quickly finished off the Tech 9 for good measure. So, last flank, that's Artis back being spotted. We're only 3 versus 3 here. Dripmen still at a big disadvantage weaponry-wise and equipment-wise. There is no kit, I believe. So they need to activate quickly.
Oh, wow.
And they do. Fraser picks off Giraffe. Vacancies there with the trade on towards Dobbo. 2 players locked out towards Banana here. Fraser going hunting. Knows he has to be aggressive. Vacancy's going to be the first one to peek. And Fraser is there to best him. But Bev takes down Robin. And now the timer has just about expired. Fraser does convert the kill. But it's not going to matter. Because TLR will be moving up to 11 here.
4 rounds in a row. They're starting to run away with this. 2-round stand between them and victory here on their opponent's map pick. And it is a TLR specialty, to be fair to them, to make it a very difficult round against an eco. Mind you, they did have a couple rifles, the Dripmen, but they were probably preying on having a kit on one of their players, but at least that will force TLR into a full investment if Dripmen do win this. TLR's finances have been weakened just a smidge. But they gotta start getting some rounds on the board wing. They really do.
Yeah, disappointing as that round might be in the moment. As you said, a victory in this one would break the economy of TLR, but man, they're walking a fine line. 2 rounds is all the T side needs to find at this point. The chance to take away their opponent's map pick. But that's not the way to start the round. Bev getting a little bit too over-eager towards short. Dobbo there, ready and waiting. Arianto gets the information. A great little sound bait there. Extinct lying in wait once again.
It's not going to be that easy to kill.
Yeah, and honestly, that's something that TLR have done so well in this map, and what they've done so well for a while. They've been playing together for such a long time that they are just in sync. As soon as one person makes a move, the other person is lying in wait ready. Every move seems to be perfectly calculated, which is what you love to see in a scene that can rely a lot on aim. Sometimes it's the brain that emerges victorious.
What's a brain?
But it helps. It helps if you're like Artis and you have both.
See if they can use their smarts here. TLR. Well, or their aim, you know. I mean, maybe we should just stick to the aim here. I mean, at the end of the day, it is Counter-Strike. It is who shoots who first. Well,
yeah, the brain's good, but Mouse 1 is better. TLR only losing a single player in that take of the A site. Prime, they know he's the B anchor. They can plant safely, and Prime just needs to get the hell out of Dodge. Carry an M4 over into the next. Can potentially drop one over as well, but that will be essentially all the Dripmen have to work with. $50, $300, $700. Finances not in a good place right now.
yeah, and they have just also had that magical touch that they had brewing over in that T side. I mean, it was really nice to see them take the fight to TLR. They just haven't been able to replicate it on the CT side, sadly. They have just dialed up just a notch here, TLR. Slow burners they are, but it has resulted them onto a match point here in map number 1.
Yeah, I think I've alluded to it a couple of times, but this is a very much deja vu from the grand final of Epic LAN. Epic LAN 47, and yeah, Dripmen a very strong T side once again, but as soon as they get to the CT side, it is all TLR. Razor has his weapon of choice. Going for the Hail Mary, a hyper-aggressive peek, but he's missed the timing onto vacancy. Dripmen have the firepower, but not as much utility as they would like. TLR just needs to wait. Still a minute and a half on the clock. Plenty of time for the Dripmen to lose their nerve. And TLR just need to stay composed right now. There's not spotting anything on the smoke fade. Flash over the top trying to set up Bev, but tucking in towards the barrels is Prime, and Dobbo there playing off his teammate very well. Gets an opening kill going the way of Dripmen, and Robin taking a lot of liberties here over towards long. He could catch Vacancy out with Each here. Yeah, Vacancy, not expecting it. Robin searching for more. Pulls the trigger eventually. The wise move. Can't afford to risk losing that. Oh, Prime eats that flashbang, but is able to tuck away, but loses its head in the meantime. Giraffe, that's an opening. That's an opportunity. This is their chance. Dobbo spam battle going the way of the Dripman. An Artist and Extinct. Complete other side of the map. Artist gonna try and go down swinging. 20 seconds on the clock. Extinct is on a fast flank, but he needs to activate. There is not time for him to go quiet, and Arianto loses his head. Fraser being pincered from both sides. Artist commits to the plant. Fraser
How?
out, missing the shots. The
Carrigan?
not connecting. I know it's all on Robin. Fraser had this opportunity in the palm of his hands. Extinct bangs through the wall. Artist 2 points of health. All he needs is one click, but Robin the same. 20 seconds remaining. Robin, the rapid fire gun switches away. Artist! He's tagged him through the wall. Robin still fighting, still hunting, but not for long. The CZ of Artist prevails, and TLR, a near flawless T side, nets them the map pick of the Dripmen, 1-0 up in the series. And next up, they're going on to home turf of Ancient. And that was utter T side dominance from TLR.
Wow. Wow. What a final round for TLR to close it out. And that's got to be the most heartbreaking way ever. I mean, they've got Extinct. They know his whereabouts. They know he's just marching his way through the A-side, la-di-da-di-da, making all the noise in the world. Arianto posted up, has to be getting that kill. And we speak so nicely about him all game long. But sadly, the moment that he really needs to step up, only lands the dink. Robin unable to finish it off. That's just brutal. But I mean, we cut to Fraser last milliseconds. But it seemed he had a pretty good chance of denying the bomb plant. Wasn't able to.
Yeah. If he just trusted in himself with his weapon of choice, switching over to the USP, it was a very messy spray, and That would have been the round. That would have been the round in the palm of his hand. That would have been Dripmen potentially going on, potentially with the opportunity to force an overtime, but instead it slips through their fingers. It wasn't all on him, as you said. Arianto, who had a very strong
Mm,
game, unfortunately, just a bit of a misplay when it mattered most. But yeah, TLR. I mean, they are the top dog for a reason. Taking Dripman's map pick, and as mentioned, Ancient coming up next, a map that they've been playing an increasing amount. It's
yeah.
already one of the strongest maps in their pool, but they are just getting better and better at it. Do you think there is a chance for the Dripmen here, or do you think they're going to be the ones to have to face OKSUCC in the lower final?
Well, you have to say when you got the brains and the aim of artist finishing that game with 22 and 8, safe to say that the confidence has definitely been built up. And now that they head to their home turf, that well, you and I have watched many a time, and I'm sure most of you guys at home as well. Sadly, I feel like this really only ends one way unless Fraser can really dig deep and muster up some sort of god tier performance. I feel like this could be the Dripmen dropping down into the lower bracket, but never say never. Miracles have happened on this channel before, on the server before. And if you're here for the Dripmen, you're definitely going to have to be channeling in some energy for them to muster up something brilliant. But we will be cutting it to a short little break. Ancient up next. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We bring you straight into the action here on Ancient. Map number 2. What could be the final map of play here in this upper bracket final between TLR and the Dripmen. And, well, Overpass, one to forget if you are the Dripmen, weren't really able to find their feet over on the T side. And, well, TLR running away with that. And now they're in their backyard of Ancient Wing. Do you believe in miracles?
Oh, I believe it's possible for the Dripmen to come back, but it's going to be difficult. Obviously, we mentioned their CT side struggles back on Overpass. They've got to do it all over again here on Ancient. Hopefully try to get a better result, but TLR exploding straight out onto this B-bomb site. Vacancy getting the opening frag, and Dobbo no chance to reply. Smoke blocking his vision. Robin's actually going to be the one to get the reply, though. Bev, oh, yeah, but whiffy spray out of Dobbo, and Bev capitalizes. So Arianto and Robin, the Swedish duo, left to try and clutch this one up. This is such an aggressive setup for TLR. It's going to be difficult to break down, and Arianto giving away his position with the steps, trying his best to bait for Robin, but Extinct not biting for the bait. Vacancy just pops Arianto and TLR. A relatively simple pistol, you have to say.
Bevy's dead, brother. Take a chill pill. Taking out their frustrations from Kosovo, it seems.
Yeah, not the funnest of experiences for them that time around, but
no.
Definitely now they're back on home turf. They're going to resume normal service, what we expect to see out of TLR.
Yeah, just stomping on all the domestic competition like they normally do.
Yeah, they are going to be up against the force back in though from the Dripmen. Robin with an MP9, Snapping Turtle surrounding it, but Extinct will dispatch the SMG extremely quickly. The Dripmen, a difficult round, just got a hell of a lot more difficult.
Indeed it has. Obviously the weaponry not really there. But I do like to see these pistols taking some aggression into main. Trying to take a portion of the map away from TLR if they do come into this site. They are ready to pounce, but for whatever reason, Artis does seem to have an obsession with this B site. So keep in mind of that for the future. Many a B pop to come going forward, but every aggression from the defense. The silent march begins into Fraser.
Yeah, sticking around just Fraser. Arianto's flank a bit too long.
Ouch.
Fraser, oh, another whiffy pistol spam. Does a lot of damage, but can't convert the kill. Artis living to fight another day, and that bomb can go down on the A site. Arianto, the late activation out of main might be overlooked. Shadow disadvantage, but Extinct is ready for it. Will have been heard on the jump up, but it doesn't matter. The AK, one bullet is all it takes, and Arianto's time in the server is done. So Prime and Dobbo, best bet, try and carry these lesser weapons over, if they will even be allowed to. TLR don't seem to be overcommitting to the hunt, with the exception of Bev, but he's the only one without a rifle, so you can probably argue, yeah, that's what he's meant to do.
He's off his leash. He's been let loose to do whatever he wants. It'd be interesting to put like a camera inside Bev's brain. What do you think goes on up there? Do you think it's just like fanfics of Blame F? Like he's just like scrolling through them over and over.
I think it's just a gerbil in a wheel that somehow keeps running.
Do you need to tell people the beef about you and Bev? I mean, is it even beef? I like to say it's
not beef, it's more of a meme. It's just whenever I seem to cast TLR, they always seem to do badly, unless it's playing against the Dripmen.
Well, at least for that has been consistent so far, obviously with a map win and the first 2 rounds secured for TLR. Well, on their way to making it 3. And the Dripmen dig out of this one, though.
Well, we're going to have to dig something out, but Prime, that's a great start. Able to get one, can't quite wrestle the MP9 back into contention, though. Let's go down with only one. And now it is just going to be these pistols. Try and do some damage, and actually Fraser this time hits the USB shot when he can't see, but there we go. The Emerald Elves boys, Artis and Extinct, re-establishing the advantage. Robin's taking up an aggressive position, but a dink actually going to convert into a kill. Bev going down as well. It got very messy towards the end, but Extinct, reliable as ever, will eventually get the round over the line for TLR, but heavy casualties being taken there from the T side. They do have money to work with, but you think in that kind of situation, you just want at least a couple more people alive just to try and give yourself that buffer.
Yeah, it could have been a gem of a round. I mean, the execute was perfect. Bar the doubled MP9 entry from the Dripmen. So in a way, pretty good recovery from TLR to not trip over that final Eagle hurdle. Now they can resume service here. The first rifle round. And an early scrap towards middle. Completely unscathed because it is the wraparound here from main. Extinct all the way out here. And now you can test the lights. What is going on?
Yeah, I mean, Dripmen heavily focused on mid, completely neglecting the A bomb site. Extinct doesn't get anything, but Artist does. He is lurking. He does have the bomb, very aggressive in towards Temple. For his teammate, Bev will pick off Arianto, and Dobbo swinging in just to try and wrestle some control back will fall. Prime and Robin. Very difficult situation for them now. I'm still looking like he wants to go for this. Robin only now making his way in towards Donut. All this time there is a mini timer in addition to the bomb as Bev begins his wrap through the B site. Prime actually will capitalize with a miss out of Artist, so that's the first domino to fall. Robin walking his way out of Donut, but Vacancy, great crosshair placement, absolutely ready for it. Prime to try and save the AWP, but there's the activation out of Bev. No saving for you, Prime. And TLR nets another, perfectly reading the Dripmen aggression and walking into an empty A site. And at that point, the round was essentially lost.
Yeah, there maybe could have been something in that round. They were able to take out that crucial piece of the puzzle there. Bev on the flank, but he obviously does get that kill. And like you mentioned, it was just a ticking clock there of his activation from behind, but he didn't really seem to be needed until the end. So this T side, it's building up something special here. Looking unstoppable in the early stages of this half. Once again, Dripmen resorted to a buy that they don't really want to be getting accustomed to. But again, if there's one thing that's a kryptonite to a TLR successful game, it is a couple 5-7s in the mix.
Yeah, we saw what they did a couple of rounds ago. We'll have to try and repel this aggression. Straight up ramp come TLR. Vacancy netting himself a double on the entry, making a triple as well. Now Robin begins his activation, but Extinct is going to be there to trade out Giraffe and Fraser. The sole A anchor, holding for the aggression that we saw in the previous round. This time, he has personally gambled wrong. Damage potentially to be done. Spotted out by Vacancy. That crosshair looked like it was on his head, but the movement strayed the bullet away from Vacancy. And more BM coming out from TLR, spamming the bodies.
Yeah, mind you.
They know their top dog. They can get away with that.
And I'm going to say, I mean, we didn't really say Vacancy's name, by the way, on Overpass. I just realized that. He wasn't really needed at all on that victory. He's making sure we don't forget about him today here, though. 8-1 at the moment. And that's probably one of the scariest sides for a B-side defender. Just that flurry of util flying over the wall. Always reminds you of Prime Astralis. Just the countless smallies and smokes coming in.
Yeah, absolutely nowhere to stand in that situation. Arianto swinging back out, but blinded by the flashbang. Easy pickings once again for Vacancy. They're getting aggressive over towards the mouth of Jaguar. CLR beginning their group, but Dripmen beginning a little bit of an advance. This could have ended an absolute bloodbath. They are able to boost Prime up onto the box. TLR a little bit more pace, and they would have caught two there, but understandably playing it a bit more safe. They have the power, they have the firepower. Prime doesn't spot anyone on the cross, does spot two players now, but whiffs his shot, jumps the gun. They can see low HP, but still fighting. Able to get Dobbo trying to face his way through the smoke. Fraser and Robin out of position. Once again, TLR making it look oh so easy. A constellation frag for Fraser. And look at TLR, they've already got two players on the hunt. They want to try and take these weapons away. Understandably so.
Yeah, I mean, the micro decisions here are costing Dripmen quite a lot there. I mean, I believe it was Dobbo walking away at probably the wrong timing there. Probably trying to pick up red, I believe, and then obviously Prime, I mean, shooting a bit too soon, then dropping down. Maybe should have stood his ground, but it's all just culminating into this TLR success that we're seeing right in front of our very eyes. The confidence oozing through the screens. Vacancy, another multi-frag round from him. Giraffe, I think, taking this weather a bit too honestly here. I mean, just not even recording a kill. 0-2. He's just got his legs kicked up. Getting a tan. Why wouldn't you? Your teammates are doing all the work.
Out in the sun, let your teammates do the work in the server. I wouldn't blame him for that in the slightest, but he does need to lock in eventually because things can still turn. Timeout being called. Probably, I assume, by the Dripmen, just trying to get something together. Down 0-6 over the course of 2 CT sides. You've amassed a grand total of a single round thus far. Desperate to turn that around.
Peek your eyes onto Vacancy's weaponry of choice coming into round number 7. 6 rounds won in a row. You might just think, I'll take another AK into this one. No. And P7. So, what do you think that entails, Wing? A bit of speed?
Yeah, something fast and straight away. Sprinting over towards A. Once again, Dripmen. No. They played it very passive, and actually they just gamble stacked over towards B. Arianto only now making his way through the CT elbow. Got out by Vacancy, does get the tag. Arianto down to just a single point of health. Prime down to 0. This is TLR, run and gun at its finest. Walk straight in, get the plant, get the kills. Dripmen already saving, and the round's only 20 seconds in.
Have TLR got a sponsor from Head & Shoulders? Because, I mean, the conditioning is through the roof right now. Time and time again. Early round aggression towards lane. From mid, fight elbow. And the one time they decide to stack to bomb site. Boys, let's just rush, eh? I imagine that obviously in an Irish accent. But that's pretty much what's going on right now.
It's just pure confidence out TLR. They know they're the better team. Dripmen just can't seem to get things together. They can't seem to fight back in the way that they usually would. As mentioned, this has been a one-sided rivalry in favour of TLR. But even Prime Dripmen would struggle. Dear. This is anything but that.
7-0. Shoutouts Giraffe. He did get a kill in that round. Who was it yesterday? He was undercover on Nuke. Was it Moz?
Moz.
0-9 or something like that, and they were winning. What we're going to see a repeat of
0-9 and his team were dominating. Didn't get a kill until the second half pistol.
I think Dobbo and Arianto would be praying to be in that position now, but sadly for them, they are the other end of this. It's another B rush. Multiple flashbangs being dispelled here onto the bomb site. Some decent damage from Prime, but all the control done. Issa Paraja bullets for good measure through the wall, and it's just so tragic. I mean, they're just not really able to get a foothold. Art as clean as ever. And you just gotta save. It's so sad. You've gotta save.
I mean, TLR are playing with such pace that Dripmen just cannot establish any kind of control. You kind of just hope for a gamble stack, but you can't really risk that. They need to fight with more aggression, meet the CLR head on. But instead, they're just sticking to the plan, and the plan is not working.
Last round they rush A. This round they rush B. I mean, what next? Rush middle, rush CT spawn. What's left there to be rushed? I mean, wherever they go, they find success. So I don't see why they shouldn't, broaden their horizons.
Don't change up the game plan if it's not working. Save the strats for Sheffield, which it does look like TLR are going to be locking themselves in for. Still got a half of Counter-Strike to play. But 5 more rounds is all that the reigning champions require.
I mean, you do have that the new James Bond game coming out. Dobbo needs to be very careful that he's not on the front cover of that one. 006 at the moment, but finally, Arianto, his brethren right there, first kill on the server for him and for the Dripmen. Speaking of Dobbo, that's his first as well. There you go, 1 for 1. That's a good start.
Yeah, keeping the man advantage there for the Dripmen. Prime inside of the cave. can't risk the aggression. Needs to wait for his support. Fraser and Robin beginning to move in now. Giraffe on a late lurk. A two-man hold on the site here for TLR. They can very quickly get overwhelmed. Bev will be picked off, so now it has to be all on Artist. But Fraser's been spotted out here by Giraffe. Artist lying in wait, waiting for his teammate to capitalize. There's the kill out of Giraffe. Prime sticking himself on that bomb. Spam from Artist, tickling the toes, but not enough for the kill. Arianto walking through the smoke afterwards, trying to take this AWP away. But TLR will still have the money to purchase in.
They've finally been punished.
At least the Dripmen get their first round on the board.
Arianto and Dobbo. Good job. Very, very good job. Getting themselves out of 0 kills and arguably the two crucial parts of that round win for the Dripmen. Arianto 3 kills. Dobbo at least getting 1 from that position. And whoa, that's a UK nade right there.
That's alright. TLR don't need that. Oh, maybe they did.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did.
Maybe they did. Yeah, Robin rushing down mid, picking up Dobbo as well, striking the back kill onto Extinct, tucking away as well. EG keeps the remaining 2 T-sided players inside of the doors. Bev, a little bit isolated, has to retreat and join up with his team. Robin, does get the spam on through the smoke onto Bev. So the Dripmen, they finally look to be coming alive. But with the way this game is going, okay, bit nervy there, but Giraffe does eventually get the kill. Keep this round alive for TLR, and actually gets another one off the Fraser. He's able to get another one.
No,
not like this. Prime will pick off Giraffe eventually, but you have to say that is a couple of kills too late. And now you've given Artist a prime opportunity to get this bomb down. Molotov to stunt any aggression coming through CT. He's got plenty of time to pick a spot. Scopes in will have been heard by Dobbo. This is going to come down to a duel at the mouth of Donut, and Artist is going to win out. Headshot overkill, but still the kill.
He hits the tag!
What a tag! Only a tag. Prime, 2 points of health is all he needs to get Dripmen their second round. But still, a round that the Dripmen look like they should be winning comfortably almost slipped through their fingers. A matter of millimeters.
Unbelievable.
Got Dripmen their second.
Unbelievable. They definitely been praying. No doubt about that. An absolute miracle that they come out of that one. But it shouldn't have even been that close. I mean, sure. Draft gets that first one. All right, that's fine. Arianto didn't see him over the smoke. But how does he get the next 2 to put it back into a somewhat winnable position for TLR? I mean, the fadeaway drive-by, whatever you want to call it, on the player in Jaguar, that's
pure filth.
That's CS2 in a nutshell, isn't it? That's like the definition of Counter-Strike 2. If you want to show somebody, oh, what's CS2 like? There's a clip for you right there.
Yeah, now the advantage going the way of TLR, immediately blowing Robin straight out of the server and back to spawn. Prime got very aggressive through the cave. Flash over the top, able to capitalize with a kill onto Bev, but Extinct is there with a reply. 12 points of health, juggling Util will allow Arianto an easy kill. But TLR still 3 players grouped up over towards the elbow position. Bomb is dropped outside of B. TLR.
Water.
Yeah, TLR do have to go back and get that. That will take time off the clock a little bit. There'll still be essentially 45 seconds to play with once it's recovered. And Dripmen, they are playing quite spread out here. This is a very aggressive position out of Dobbo. The rest of the Dripmen are over towards red and CT spawn. Barrel spotted. Vacancy left a sitting duck. Dobbo does get another one. Stepping around, Artist is going to hear this. He's going to be able to calm this over. And Dobbo, he's not going to clear his corners. Easy pickings for Tom Clark. Arianto will pick off Giraffe. But Artist, another 1 versus 2 attempt. Exactly. Run it back. There's a kit on Arianto. Very aggressive post out of Artist. Very risky. Does now reconsider the adjustment. The Fusion side of long. Fraser, ooh, he's able to get the dink. 13 points of health is what Artist has to play with. Arianto smokes over towards long. Mini tap. Artist walking through the smoke, but Arianto is going to be ready for it. Dripmen somehow salvaging together a manageable half here. 3 on the board now. If they're able to get the 4th, this game could still be on. A matchup that was looking dead in the water. There's still life in the Dripmen yet.
Yeah, they're very much threading the needle right now, the Dripmen. Unfortunate for Artist, back-to-back 2v1s can only muster up a single kill in both of them. But something that we have seen quite often, these really slow starts do seem to end in a disaster. More times than not for the teams that get off slow. Comeback is still very much on, of course. It's not over till it's over, but they still need to play some perfect Counter-Strike here, the Dripmen, and I feel like they're being fed a bit of leftover ego from TLR. They're not really getting the game done when they should.
They're running it back, fast over towards A.
Enough.
Giraffe's already out. Arianto, he's tucked inside of the donut. Smoker's going to conceal his vision. Flash over the top. Arianto peeks out. He's able to get the first. But Giraffe and Bev swinging the numbers back in favor of the T side. Fraser walking through the donut smoke. He equalizes. Kill onto Giraffe. But Artist wins the AWP duel. Dobbo chimes in with one more. We are in a 2 versus 2 situation. Bev, late activation through donut. Is there a chance the Dripmen expect this? They do seem to be aware of the possibility, but they're hyper fixated on CT. Artist going to pick up Prime and Dobbo looking the wrong way. Bev will pounce and TLR will stunt the Dripmen momentum. A 9-3 lead at the half. It was looking promising for the challengers, but unfortunately, in the final round, TLR stomping their authority once again and with a massive advantage into the CT side.
Maybe they should have just kept rushing A. I'm glad they decided to run it back for the final one, but yeah, it looks like they finally put their foot back on the gas, which is what I was saying before the rush came on in, and almost playing with their food there a little bit. TLR for those 3 rounds that the Dripmen won, but back to winning ways. Win the pistol. You can already get on train line and get yourself some tickets booked, but the Dripmen on this T side, something that doesn't really fill us with a lot of confidence, but who knows? New pastures. Get results.
Spotted out in mid though. Ooh. Risky fight by Fraser, but he's able to escape. Bev spotted out inside of the donut as well. Rattles off a shot. Artist fully blind, but Bev is there with the trade. Jumping across. They're trying to swarm the site. Bev somehow able to get 2 in there. Extinct able to get 1 on the dual Berettas, but Arianto walking straight out, puts it all on vacancy, and Arianto once again comes up on top. A very slow start to this map, but you have to say his spike in form has really propelled the Dripmen back into contention. He was 0-7. He's now sitting at 10-9.
Yeah, leading the way with Robin. So this has been a huge resurgence for Arianto, and one that's been crucially missed for the Dripmen. He was leading the way over on Overpass. If he can do that same result here on Nation, he will be looking up, but the force coming in, a fully blind Bev and Artist meets Arianto, and sadly he doesn't get a single one, but his teammates have found an open bomb site, so something to work with.
All right, you can beat us by rushing A. We'll do the exact same thing to you. Draw you into mid and then pounce. Dripmen are taking their time to get this bomb down, and all this time they're waiting, Giraffe has found himself aggressively pushed up inside of A main, not expected whatsoever by Prime, and now it could be getting a bit dicey for the Dripmen up against this force investment. He does get one back. Artist snapping turtle. Messy spray of it, and Robin and Dobbo trying to restore some order. Bev's just running straight for the hills. Carry that MP9 armor over into the next. Give yourself something to work with. But Dripmen beginning to close that gap once again.
We shouldn't be doubting the team that beat 9, alright? You really shouldn't. Always believe in the impossible.
Yeah, we know what Dripmen can be capable of. It's been a bit here, there, pretty much everywhere. No real consistency from them. But when they do get up and running, they are a scary opponent for anyone. And 5 out of the last 6. Is there a chance that momentum is turning?
was just having a look at the 9 game, and they did play on Ancient. 9 did beat Dripmen 13-6, so maybe we used the wrong example there, but it's a thought that counts.
Yeah, Dripmen playing fast once again, straight out onto the B side. Ooh, Bev, that's not a nice spray. Yeah, giving Robin an opportunity. Robin had no idea where to look, but still somehow was able to compose himself for that kill. When the B site falls, all TLR can play for is damage. Dripmen will be hesitant to give them anything.
There's one.
Maybe they'll give them something. Giraffe able to get one, but that gun not going to be in a position to be saved. Ariantos might, though, if he continues this aggression. If he does lose his life, that can be Galil carried over. Giraffe, ooh, falling off the ledge, costing him a chance at the kill. And Dripmen make it clean, 4 alive. And that gap that we thought was insurmountable is continuing to shrink.
3 rounds in it.
8-0 up. It is now 9-6.
I mean, we have seen collapses like this happen to the Last Resort in the past. I mean, it's not common that a fumble like this does happen, but you do need to give credit to the Dripmen. They have to be mentality monsters, digging in deep. Arianto, Robin, especially the old guard leading the way. They're just finally playing with confidence. They actually believe in themselves when they swing that they can get the kill, and it's not just a half-ass swing. They truly can believe that they can win, and that's just the mentality you got to have when you're playing CS. So play every round like it's your last, and before you know it, you're going to be ignoring the scoreline, and it's going to be tied up. So just keep doing what you're doing, Dripman. You're making this a competitive one, and you're really making Artist dig deep into his brain here.
Yeah, really going to make him think, especially if this one goes the way of the Dripmen. It's going to be full investment from TLR in return. AWP in the hands of Artist. First appearance on this CT side. Dripmen, are they going fast again? Are they going for another aggressive commitment? This time Artist is the one to draw first blood. Extinct is there with the second as well. Dobo re-peeking back into Artist. And this time, the adjustment out of TLR, the setup, the superior weaponry, it favors them, but Fraser wins the head-to-head up against his opposite number. He's lurking around the edge, is able to get one more before going down, but Prime is now forced into a 1 versus 3, and Bev is very much ready for this aggression through the red row.
Not ready enough?
Still, yeah, he was ready for it, he was expecting it, but his aim abandoned him at the worst time. Primary routing here. He's being very loud about this. TLR have plenty of time to reset, and they're actually going to go for an aggression down ramp. No flash here. They're going to have to peek this dry. They're going to have to peek this together. And Prime, his attention drew him towards the cave. And that is when TLR strike. They put themselves on double digits their first round on the CT side. And Dripmen, with some casualties that they sustained in previous rounds, it's a bit of a messy investment here. A couple of Galils. Dobbo's probably going to be relegated to, at best, an SMG. There we go, the MAC-10 being purchased in. Man, they do still have equipment to work with. But it's not an ideal situation for them to continue this comeback. They don't want to have to go through that lower bracket. They don't want to have to go up against OKSUCC. They want to book themselves a spot in Sheffield nice and early, but they're able to get the opening in this one. Dripmen are there very quickly with the trade. Extinct underneath Evan. How is he able to get away with another one there? Bev mopping up the pieces. TLR, you feel that was Dripmen's last hurrah. And the reigning champs, potentially, they're potentially 1 round away from booking themselves a spot at that LAN final. Dripmen, no investment in this one, you have to say. They're going to be playing for 6 straight. They're going to be playing for overtime.
Yeah, they really have to. They're going to need some greedy loan sharks to get some funds from, because there's just none on the table for them whatsoever. Again, it's a similar story that we've seen all too commonly. They show great glimpses of what they're capable of, but it's it's just about chaining them together. And yeah, I mean,
Ooh,
that's
there
a
we
nice
go.
shot from Dobber. You do have Drafto on the other side of the map getting 2 kills. So
Fraser's got the bomb in mid. This is
yeah.
really awkward now. He has looked out
Okay.
undetected. Bev, this is all going to come down to who timing. He
What's
spots the
Shadow?
shadow. He spots the shadow.
Oh,
Fraser. Oh, a little
that's
bit of
so
lacking
unfortunate.
awareness there. And that's the bomb dropped. And what you feel whatever chance Dripmen had, it slipped through their fingers. It was awkward to say with a minute on the clock, but you feel their best course of action is try and preserve this AWP, get it into the hands of Fraser for the next round.
I do agree. Something tells me that they still want to give this one a go. Dobber can land some crucial shots. Does blow the round wide open, but you got 2 people inside the donut. Got Vacancy watching the flank. I mean, it's only really getting one way, and they're hungry for this final kill. Bev chases it down. And yeah, 18 and 10 from Bev. This has been his map. TLR on the precipice of Sheffield once again. The Dripmen. It has been valiant. There's still life yet in this game. But that flame is slowly starting to fade away. Final tactical being called in. Oh, dearie me. It's got to be a tough one for Fraser here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a difficult situation. This has to be your Hail Mary. You've got the rifles on the board, not a massive amount of util to go with it, but enough to make something happen. Crucially, no AWP. But the problem is TLR. Now they've got everything they want. They can deploy it however they see fit. Yeah, they have to get into their opposite numbers' minds and work out exactly the setup and just be very thorough with everything they do. Either that or just explode fast, catch everyone with their pants down, and just walk into the site like TLR did for a couple of rounds on their T side.
Don't know the chances of them being gifted an opportunity like that again, but they can only hope. But it does seem that they're going to start out slow on what could be their final round here in the upper bracket. The lack of util, they're going to have to keep it simple, and it's a simple crawl into mid from both sides here. Trying to exploit the different angles. 2 for 1.
Yeah, crucially Prime did get that kill onto Bed, but he is quickly traded out. Vacancy. This is all going to come down to timing, but actually Artis showing a little bit too much to Arianto there. Graf trying to act as a bit of a decoy, trying to bait in Vacancy, and there we go. Perfect distraction. Vacancy gets 2, and now it's Fraser to try and avoid the lower bracket, crawling his way out onto B, able to get the first onto Extinct. He's actually going to go for the stick here on the bomb. Giraffe has lurked his way around to long. Fraser doesn't expect it and doesn't adjust quickly enough. TLR 13-6 victors on Ancient. They take the series 2-0, and they book themselves a spot in that LAN final at Sheffield. UKIC Masters Season 10.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they just have like tents already set up outside Sheffield, you know what I mean? And they just already have all their stuff there, you know what I mean? Don't even bother bringing any suitcases because they're just so accustomed to going there constantly. I mean, the success is through the roof here for Artis and this core. And once again, they delivered a pretty dominant series, 13-7 on Overpass, 13-6 here on Ancient. And the underdog story, I guess you can, not really the underdog story, but this timeless encounter between these two teams once again favors out the last resort. A close one,
Yeah,
Wink.
I mean, close is a
Not
bit of
really.
a...
Not really.
No,
I'm being nice.
Yeah, it was extremely well played by TLR.
Yeah.
I think Dripmen, they know they weren't at their best today. There was a little bit of lacking individual sharpness at times. Some of the team play relatively simplistic. I don't know if they were saving strats, but realistically, I think that kind of situation you did need to use them because now they've got a very tough game going up against OKSUCC in the lower bracket, and
that should be a good one.
You can't underestimate that team. That is a team that really has the capability to beat Dripmen, potentially even beat TLR. I know the core has run them close
Mm.
many times in the past. So, Dripmen, they're in for a rough time coming up, but still an opportunity. They can still put themselves a spot in that final. But I think TLR, that they were deserved winners today, and there are definitely a few people in contention for that overall series MVP, making a name for themselves. Of course, thank you again to our tournament sponsor over at Logitech G. MVP of the Masters Division will win themselves a Super Strike mouse. I know a couple of the TLR guys have got one of them already, but suffering from success.
They really are, and of course, obviously, you did see in one of the sponsor reels. Obviously, UKIC have their own website now, so why don't you go check that out? That has been in development sneakily, I suppose, for quite some time, and they finally released it. It looks quite good. I have been on there once or twice. It does seem quite nice, so I don't see why you shouldn't check that out. Obviously, the hub of UKCS, so and that's what we're watching. So don't see why you shouldn't give that website a little check. But who would you give as your obviously as our casters MVP for this series? I feel like there's only really one man that consistently played well on both maps. Obviously, a little bit of a dip here on Ancient, but it has to be the captain. No,
Has to be the big man.
has to be the
I
big
do
man.
agree with you. I mean, Ancient, yeah, he kind of. It didn't. I don't want to say got lost in the shuffle. He still had big impact moments, but I mean, that Overpass performance was spectacular.
It
And then
was.
I was still very strong here on Ancient. It's just the rest of his team was stronger around him as well. Much more of a team effort here on Ancient. But yeah, I think I would give it to Artis for this series. Maybe
Indeed.
in contention for the overall crown once again.
Brother, he probably has 20 million crowns already, man. How many more crowns does he need?
Yeah, he's collecting them like Pokemon cards at this point.
It really is impressive what he's been doing. So fair play to Artist, another MVP for him. But I have cut over to the bracket. I need you guys to use your imagination here. Just slot in Dripmen into that lower bracket final, TLR into that land grand final. Will they be able to pull it off? Who bloody knows? I mean, they've done it so many times, but we've obviously got that lower bracket grand final that we need to get ourselves sorted out in the near future. But it's been nice to be back in the commentary booth with you, Mr. One Wingathy. It has been a joyous time. The weather hasn't been that bad. I thought it would be sweating heaps, but it's been a nice
I'm sweating
chill.
like anything, mate. I don't know about you.
I had to close my window just in case people heard me shouting. But honestly, I didn't think I needed to shout that much. It was that smooth of a game there for TLR. But I do hope you guys have a nice rest of your evening. It's been a pleasure. Have a good one.